Hey guys, today I want to show you this brand new radio from Radioddity. This is the QT80. This is an AM, FM, sideband, and CW. It's a 80 watt radio. It does 10 and 10. Well, it will do 10, 11, 12, and 15 meters. From the factory, it's a 10-meter radio. When you get it, it's super easy to convert this one. Press and hold the memory button and the band button with the radio off. Keep holding those in and turn the radio on. When the radio comes on, a menu will come up on the screen. Choose, I believe it was HF. And then press and hold the function button to confirm your choice. And then the radio will be opened up and it will do 10, 11, and 12 meter. In order to get the 15 meter band, you have to take the bottom cover off of the radio. There's a single jumper on the board. Move the jumper from pins 1 and 2 to pins 2 and 3, and it will open up 21 megahertz through 21.5 megahertz. So it will then be a 10, 11, 12, and 15 meter radio. On the face of it, we have all the usual stuff. We have the power output level. This rear knob adjusts your output power. And I currently have mine set so that it tells me on the screen where I have my output set at. We have the RF gain on the outer knob, on the skinny knob. On this side, on the back, we have the squelch, and the little knob is for the clarifier. The clarifier can be set in the menu, in the function menu, or on the computer software. You can set that clarifier to be completely useless. It'll do nothing, receive, transmit, or receive and transmit. So that is changeable. You can pretty much set the clarifier however you want it. Below that we have the volume knob and the power switch. Next to that we have a 6-pin microphone jack. And in the menu, there's a nice feature for that jack where we can send the audio, the sound that usually goes to the speaker, we can send it to the microphone jack to work with a lot of the Bluetooth microphones that have the receiver speaker in them. So that's settable for that. In the menu, you can also change the mic from electric to dynamic. So depending on the style of mic you have. Personally, I like the mics that Radioddity chooses for the radios. These microphones work great, and the new model here, as we see, get that camera to focus, stop focusing on the radio. It's got that PF button on the top. I'll talk more about the PF button later. Over here, again, we have the function button, the mode, band, scan, and they also have the other controls by long pressing, the dimmer, the color, dual watch, noise blanker, memory channels, high cut, TSQ. I'm not sure what that one is. I'll have to look in the manual to see what that one is. I don't think it's anything I normally use. What happens if we press it? Error. I guess it needs to be programmed. We have the noise reduction circuit, which we'll get into that a little bit more later on. Echo and the emergency channels. And we also have a menu. If we press and hold the knob, almost everything, well, everything that's in these two menus you can access on the computer through the program, and almost everything that you can access on the computer program you can access through these menus. I think the only thing that you really can't do is changing the Roger beep. In the computer program we can modify the Roger beep. All right, let's test this thing out. Let's look up towards that power meter some. We'll see what this is putting out for power, and then we'll go over and we'll review the computer software that goes with this radio. We're doing real world testing here. I'm not using a dummy load. I have it connected to my my Mako VQ3, and I'd rather see what it shows on the power meter actually being hooked up to my antenna than to a dummy load. So let's put this, we're on power, we're on the 200 watt scale. The 200 watt scale uses the very bottom lines on that meter. See how they're angled? The very bottom of them is for the 20 watt and the 200 watt scale, and the upper lines are for the 2000 watt. We're on the 200 watt scale. I'm going to crank this radio right up. I found a quiet channel. So we're gonna just give a little, oh, why don't we just talk into that mic and see where it goes. Oh, look at that. Well, yeah, it's tagging the 100 mark. Yeah, no doubt about it. Let's give a little whistle. Yeah, it's just about hitting that 100 mark. I'm actually going to bring this camera up a little bit more. Let's see if we can get a better angle on. Oh, that's the maximum my tripod will go. That's the best we can do, because I see we're getting a shadow line on that meter. Maybe if I change my angle to match where the light is coming from. Well, we're almost there. Let's see what that looks like. Let's give a little whistle into this thing. There we go. Now we can see that needle was tagging the 100 line. That's fantastic. I had heard rumors that these radios would put out more than the 80 watts that they're rated for, at least on sideband. Let's switch it over to AM, and let's see what the output power is on AM. All right, I'm cranked all the way up, and we're showing, oh, about a 30 watt dead key with a whole bunch of swing. It is just swinging like crazy. And we have, oh, look again, sometimes it almost hit the, oh, there it goes again. It sometimes gets all the way up, almost to 100. It looks like we're probably seeing about 90 watts out of it on AM. That's not bad. I heard the rumors that they would be a little more powerful than advertised, and that's fantastic. I love them when they do better than they advertise them at. All right, let's go over and let's check out the computer software now. Let's see how this thing, let's see what we can do with it. All right, let's talk about the computer program. This, I'll leave a link in the description. You download this directly from Radioddity. I will also put the driver for the data cable. That cable, if you're running Windows 7, you're going to need a driver for it. So I'll put a link in the description to get you that driver. Once you've installed the software on your computer, when you first open it up, this is what you see. Go over to Program and click on Read from Radio. And it's going to ask you, do you want to read data from radio? But before I do that, I'm going to cancel that, because when I first set this software up, I had an issue where it said it couldn't read from radio. If you go to Setup and then go to Communications Port, because it said it couldn't read from the COM port, I had to switch mine. It was the default was on COM 1. I switched it to COM 3, and then it read from the radio without a problem. So we'll go over to Read from Radio and tell it, yes, we want to read from that radio. And I'll show you now what the radio looks like while it's reading from it. The radio goes to PC mode and kind of locks you out of it temporarily. You can shut it off at any time, and then it'll be back to the radio. But I recommend waiting for the computer program to finish and then shut the radio off and turn it back on, and then it'll work fine again. Alright, we're just waiting for the computer to finish reading from the radio, and it just did. And now this is going to show us everything that the way I have my radio set up. This will show us everything on there. As you can see at the top, that changed from what was on the screen before reading the radio, and now it says how I have the radio opened up from the 24.7 to the 30.1. There's just so many changes you can make within these menus. We have this is all the information tab that tells you everything that's the current settings, and we go to this one. This tab has a lot more going on it. We have the timeout timer setting, the indicator, which for when you key up, for when you key the mic, to tell it what you want to display on the screen. We can do SWR, timeout, remaining, and or the battery voltage. We have the microphone level, so your mic gain is accessible right here, and I currently have mine set on 40, and it maxes out at the 45. We have the automatic squelch level. I'm not an AM guy, so I have that off. We have the talkback. I don't have the talkback on. Again, it's just simple on or off in the menu. Oh, no, there's the different levels are in here. We have the color choices here. Like I said, you can change everything on that radio through the computer software. And what I love best is you can just leave this up on your computer and access it when you want to change something quickly. Yes, it's going to take a minute to write to the radio, but it's actually easier than going through the menus sometimes. But as you see, we have all of the adjustments. We have the clarifier, which is what I was telling you about earlier, where the clarifier can be changed to receive or just transmit, or both receive and transmit, or you can shut the clarifier off and the radio would just be locked on frequency for both receive and transmit. Vox levels, the microphone type, which again, this you can do in the menu that's on the radio, or you can switch it here. The noise reduction. Look at that. We have the 5 levels of receive and the 5 levels of transmit. And I wasn't aware, I didn't even notice this, which is why I had just had a pause, because in the radio's menu you can't shut off the transmit noise if you have the receive noise reduction on. But here in this menu you can shut it off. Alright, we have the emergency buttons, which I don't have anything programmed in. Do they actually give you choices? Emergency 1 and emergency 2. Volume path, which is for switching it from the speaker to the microphone so that you could use like the Bluetooth setups. We have the echo level, which I've played with the echo on this radio. On my QT80 and my QT60, I set that at number 8 for both of them. On this radio, at number 8, I could tell that echo was on, so I dropped it down just 1 notch, down to 7. It does go pretty high. Again, that 7 is barely on. The highest setting is 32. So the 7 is barely on. It's just, again, to expand the sound just a little bit, make it a little more full. We have the AM NPC. I don't really recommend using that. It'll give you a little bit more boost out, but it's a compromise. You're gonna lose some of your sound quality if you turn it on. It will give you a little bit more oomph on the air, but it's at a cost. I have my VFO on, which if you saw on the radio before, it looks like a UF on the screen. That's actually VF for VFO instead of channelized mode. And we have the VFO stepping there, so you can choose. And my camera is not showing a wide enough area to see all of that. Let's back that out a pinch, and let's knock it down just a smidge. Some of it's still out of there, but you get the gist of it. You saw everything that there needs to be seen. We have the key beep, which I have off. That's got to be the Roger beep. FM deviation, that tone for the 4K, 3K, and 4K setting for sideband use. The PF key, which when you press that drop down, you see there is quite a few choices of things that can be controlled by that new center button on the top of the microphone. So you can use it to turn a lot of things on and off. Unfortunately, only one at a time, but it's easy to change it in this menu. And like I showed you, I have mine set for the receiver noise reduction, which I may end up changing that because I found I never shut that off. So I really don't need the quick access button. What else do we have in here? What else might be better? Oh, well, the noise blanker ANL I actually use quite a bit. On sideband on this radio, I have noticed that there are some noises that you need to have that on and it will just get rid of them. But then there's some other noises that will come in just faintly if the noise blanker is on. So sometimes it's off, sometimes it's on. So that's actually what I'm going to leave it on for now. We have the adjustment for the clarifier. This setting is so that you can have the clarifier so that it barely changes anything with a lot of turn on it, or you can have it so that it will split channels, and you can just turn it halfway and you'll be exactly halfway in between channels. I have mine set on the barely doing anything because I use the VFO. And I probably should have showed you that, and I may bring you back to the radio later just quickly to show you that feature. It's there's a nice feature built into the radio for the to split channels. Same feature that the Anytone QT80 had, but I'll show you anyway. You know what? I'm going to show you that right now because before we both forget about it. All right, first I'll show you the clarifier. Oh. Oh, I'm on AM. The clarifier doesn't do anything on AM. If we turn the clarifier now, oh, it's actually set at no, it's set at the barely doing anything. Now, if we had it set for the half a channel, that number 4 would be a 0 right now. It would be splitting the channel. But again, I use the VFO because let me show you that. You see that little arrow under the right hand number 5? Well, that little arrow, it stays right there. When you turn the channel normal, see it changes. We're on 44, 43, we'll go down. Channel 38. But now if we press this button, now it changes that digit. So we can split the channels. We're on 3900 now. And when it stops blinking, it's back to doing the regular channels. Press it again, and it goes back up. And now the beauty of that thing, press it one more time and look, it jumped to the left. And again, and again. So we can change these numbers with it. I leave it right there because to split the channels is what I use it for the most. Alright, we're back over here at the computer software again. And next in line we have the AGC, which is for the signal meter. And I much prefer it on fast. I wish they had given this option on the QT40. The QT40 really needs a fast setting for the AGC. Down here we can have, I have mine set so that when I increase the volume or decrease it, it comes across the screen and tells me the level it's at. You can also do it for squelch. I have mine set to do the power level. You can have the RF gain. And here we have the SWR protect, which from the factory is set at 20 to 1. If your SWR is higher than that, the radio won't transmit. We have battery voltage protection. We have a minimum, these are factory settings, a minimum of 9 and a max of 16. Here, if you'll notice that I only have AM and upper and lower sideband checked off. I don't really use FM. I don't need a PA function. I'm using the radio as a base station. And the CW I don't use. So I just unchecked those 3 items. And now that button on the radio for flipping mode, I only have to press it a couple of times to get where I need to be. Instead of having to skip over FM and get blasted by the FM static. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. And just get past the PA and CW because I don't personally use them. If you're somebody that doesn't use AM, well then uncheck that one. And there you go. Customizable. I love this radio. We have a ton more settings. There's I don't know what half of these are. These are the ham radio settings, which that I don't use any of these. Same with all of this. Well, except for some of these. I mean, yeah, the Roger beep. Speaking of the Roger beep, the Roger beep is customizable on this radio. You can make a tone a 14-note tone, and you can make it repeat. And, well, you could just do a lot of things. You can make a really annoying Roger beep with this radio, like a few of the other Radioddity radios. Yeah, they made it so that we can customize it. What I like about it is I'm going to put in just a simple beep. You know, like the old RCI 2950s had? It's just one simple little beep. I am going to just make that for this radio. They give a few of them for just to have in there. I think it's 5. I think, and then from 6 on, yeah, 6 on isn't programmed yet. you can put whatever you want in, but you can also customize this one too, so that we could just go right here right now. Oh, how about if I just grab hold of it and bring it up? We can get rid of that second tone. We can get rid of that third tone. Might as well do it right now, right? I'm gonna need to write to the radio anyway. Did you see that? A little gnat just flew across the screen. So we have just the simple one tone now. And actually, let's play it and hear what that sounds like. Oh, that's not bad. Maybe I'll just leave it right there. I don't think it can be made any shorter. Yeah, just longer. I don't want it to be longer. Let me try knocking the tone down some. Let's go there. Let's see what it sounds like. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, I'll stick with that one. I'm going to write to my radio when we're done with all of this. Well, that's it, guys. That's the QT80. Actually, let me whoa, before I run away. I'm getting ahead of myself. Go back. If you're making changes, let me show you right now what you have to do. Go back up to that program button. Remember, we read from the radio. Now we're going to write to the radio. So any changes you made in here, if you want to save them, you got to tell it to write to the radio. And then again, while it's writing to the radio, it goes back and it shows you PC mode again. And while it's in PC mode, you're locked out. Volume is maximized right now. You're locked out while it's writing to it and while it's reading from it. So you just got to be patient and wait a second. We are currently about 78% complete. And when you get the write data completed message across your computer screen, then just shut the radio off and turn it back on. And all your changes that you made are all saved. Let's put that back on the lower side. Hey, we had somebody on upper side on channel 45. It's been a good day on the radio. I grabbed a bunch of skip this morning. I talked to a bunch of guys in Michigan, Wisconsin, Canada. I even heard a station out of Maine, 1221. 1221, this is the new radio. Anyway, I'll play some of that skip now. I'll show you what I was getting with this radio this morning. I was running it, the power level down on 17 on lower sideband, and I was running it into a Palomar 225, which if you watch the power meter up above the radio during the skip, you'll see what my output was. All right, guys, enjoy the skip, and I'll catch you next time.
Go ahead, Howard Junkie, 1221, State Main, 151, 1221.
I heard 1221 and I heard 357. 1221 up there in Maine and 357 in Vermont. Good morning to both of you. 357, I heard you first. 151, South Carolina. Waving a hand to you.
You know, how about you 151? You got a copy on 158. How about that 151, 151 in the Carolinas? The 444 worldwide, Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I'm getting up.
444 up there in Wisconsin. Been a long time. 444, you came on top of everybody. You just shut them all down. 444, 151, South Carolina. Waving a hand to you.
Hey, 151, we had to jump in there. 151 down around South Carolina making a lot of noise. Good job. 444, Green Bay, waving.
Copied most of that there, 444. I got most of it. Hey, have a great day, and thanks for the shout-out. Hey, 444, always a pleasure. 151, down here in South Carolina, sending you a southern wave.
Check. Hey, Mr. 151, you copy 685 Ontario, waving a big old hand.
685, 685. I'd have to be deaf not to hear you. 685, 151, South Carolina. Return it to you.
Just wanted to wave a hand, man. We're awful busy in there, as you probably know, but hey, you're coming through very, very good. So take care down there. Good to hear the Carolinas. 685 Ontario.
Copied all of that. 685. Hey, it's great to be here in Canada again too. It's been too long. We've had all the West Coast. I'm glad to hear the North again. 685. Enjoy the day, and I hope you get a lot of DX. You got 151. Moa Junkie. I'll say 73s.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Land on the band. 127 New York, 444 Green Bay, Wisconsin.
I heard.
Copy on 151, Mr. Mower Junkie. 207, Battle Creek, Michigan.
207. I heard you that time. Good morning, Dave. I heard you in there. 207 151. Waving a hand to you.
Hello, 0737
It's crazy in here today, Dave. It's absolutely nuts. 207. I hope it's just as crazy on your end today. Dave, enjoy the DX. You got 151. South Carolina. Ooh, I tripped over that one. Hey, I'll get you later, Dave.
151 from 999 Ontario, Canada. Wisconsin,
999 Ontario, Canada. I heard you in there. 999 151 South Carolina. Waving back.
Hey, Roger, that's 151. Hope you're having a great day. My friend sounded mighty fine up here in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. On the border. Great day. Thanks for the contact. 999. We'll be listening and clear with 151.
Copied all of that. 999. Hey, enjoy the day and enjoy the DX. 999. You got 151 South Carolina. I'll say 73s.
73s, right back to you, my friend. We got it all. God bless you. Stay safe in South Carolina. God bless you. Good copy. Appreciate the call back. 272. 444 Wisconsin, waving. Where Green Bay said it.
Hey, 444, you want to tell that 127 that 151 said he's a mud duck?
Yeah, that 151 there said you're a mud duck, 127. 151.
Thank you so much, 444.
You bet. On the mud duck. 6 Ohio, Chicago 375, 207 Michigan. CQX 549, 549, Southern Ontario. 156, Southeast Ohio, trying. Battle Creek, Michigan. Southern Ontario.
207. Hey, 207, I made it down here. I'm down here. Dave, what's going on?
Not much. It's noisy up here. It's 737, about 30 over up here. Radio.
Yeah, copy that. I know. I got to get my big box fixed again so that I can come in there right with him and stop him from just covering me up. I got to get that big box fixed, Dave.
Hey, Roger, yeah, we're still running the same junk, just trying to do what we can with what we got, right?
That's it. Yep, right now 200 watts is just going to have to do for me. That's about all I can do at the moment.
I'm just running that back at radio, about 100 watts as back to all right now.
Copy that. Well, you're booming in down here. That 100 watts is working well for you. What do you run for an antenna, Dave?
I run a Mako 2-element white quad, and about 40 feet in.
Hey, that's awesome. That's an antenna that I have wanted to try for the longest time. That Y-Quad and the Comet. I would love to try either one of those. That thing is working well for you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we got no complaints with it. The only difference between the Y-Quad and the Comet is the extra element on the Comet and 3 more dBs. So, there ain't a whole lot of difference, but it sure makes a difference in the price.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that. I was just looking at them the other day, and now the Comet is more expensive than this VQ3 that I have. This the 3-element V-Quad is now cheaper than the Comet.
Hey, Roger. Yeah, about that 151 is 1716 trying. Wilson V-Quad got covered up, which is the same thing as that. It was a 2-element, but I ran them stacked. On the diagonal. And what I say, 5-1. waving a hand.
And boy, you got a point right where you wanted to talk, or you aren't talking.
No copy on the 151.
Copy that. I want to. It's like a dream of mine, Dave. I want to get another one of these VQ3s. I want to stack them. I want to have two of these things up in the air. I got to get a better rotor, before I can do that.
Yeah, that rotor,
Yep,
you want to do it.
1760 Wisconsin.
Old Alliance bell-shaped rotor, and that'll work fine for you. You can pick them up cheap.
Yeah, copy that. I've seen a lot of inexpensive rotors, good rotors. The problem is I have so many of those old Channel Master rotors that I'm just going to use those up until they're dead, or until I have an antenna that needs something bigger. When those are all gone, well, then I'll look for something better.
Man, Roger, boy, you're doing a heck of a job here. You're 10 over, no problem at all.
Hey, copy that. You're doing the same here. You're the same. There's been some other traffic on this channel, but you're covering right on top of them.
Man, Roger, yeah, we just heard you down there, and I got up from the chair there and thought we'd come over and say hello.
I appreciate that a lot. You know, you're one of my favorite contacts. You're always a great contact to have, Dave. You're always happy and pleasant and easy to talk to, just like myself. So, hey, I always enjoy talking with you.
Man, Roger, how's the better half doing?
She's doing well. She's hanging out with her mom today. I'm not sure what the two of them are up to, but I'm sure they're spending some of our money.
Oh, you can count on that. You can count on that. You're going to be in the forefront.
And how's everything up on your end? How's your family doing?
We're doing all right there. We're doing all right. I had a little spell in the hospital, but I come out on top of it.
Well, I'm glad to hear you made it through without any major issues. I'm glad you're still around with us.
Yeah, we got a certificated QT80,
1760 Wisconsin's trying.
Hey, messing around with antennas is pretty much a done thing for me now.
Ah, that sucks. Yeah, I know. As we age, I know it's getting harder and harder for me to get up on that roof. Yeah, I got to be extra careful these days. The balance isn't what it used to be.
Man, out here, average, you always whatever you make works. I'm rather impressed with some of your antennas in Canada trying.
Copy that. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, there have been some failures, but I don't usually post the failures. But when somebody suggests me making something that I already tried and it failed, I will let them know then.
Well, if I posted my failures, I'd have more. I know that. I'll stand by. Roger.
Copy that. Same here. Yep, I'd look like a great big failure if I posted all the failures. There's a lot of successes, but hey, in experimenting, you know how it is. You don't win every time.
Yeah, well, I don't know enough. At least I hear John will let you go and I'll let you get back as a DX there. It's so sporadic, but it's always a pleasure. And I just blow up a new one. We really enjoyed that one day where we can blow it on and go. It made me feel kind of honored.
Starting to fix them up.
One by one is the most job.
Seems to be doing all right.
Radio station 8207 Duncan, Michigan.
Copied all that, Dave. All right, hey, have a great day, and hey, I enjoyed bouncing around up there in Wisconsin. I'm sorry. Hey, you're not in Wisconsin. You're in Michigan. You're in Battle Creek. I've been bouncing around in Battle Creek. Dave, enjoy the day, and I'm gonna try and gather my thoughts here and stop tripping over my own tongue. 73's to you, 207 151 Moa Junkie. I'll be standing by.
Yeah, this one is good though. We brought this one life and she's raw, solid, and then trying.
You copy 431 Southern Ontario.
431 Southern Ontario. I got you in there. You got 151 down here in South Carolina.
Well, I guess South Carolina's not here.
South Carolina sounding good up here in Southern Ontario. Here, 431. We're right around the Great Lakes here, about 50 miles northeast of Detroit on the Canada side there, Roger.
5-1.
Copy that. 431, just over the border. Yeah, you're just up there in Canada, just over the line. 431, hey, thanks for the contact and enjoy the day. 73's to you. 151, South Carolina. I'll be standing by.
Yeah, 151 side listening. 151, you got a grip on the Great Lakes?
I got a grip on the Great Lakes. Who's that up there in the Great Lakes? 151 wants to know.
Yeah, 151, you got 462 Ontario.
Copy that. 462 up there in Ontario. You're doing a great job down here. Hey, good to hear you in there this morning.
All right, 151, hey, 73s, have a good one.
Copied all of that. 462. Enjoy the day and get a lot of DX. 462. You got 151. Mower Junkie down here in South Carolina. I'll be standing by.
Yep, out that 151. Yep, out the 151 down there in South Carolina. 1716 Wisconsin. Then try, driver.
1716 in Wisconsin. I heard you in there. 1716, 151, South Carolina. Waving.
Roger, you know, you're a hard person to get a hold of. I've been trying to get a hold of you for, a couple of months or more.
Hey, copy that. I've heard that before. Yeah, it's, well, I get on here when I can, when I get the opportunity. I'm just being lazy today and decided to sit in front of the radio. So, hey, 1716, hey, the pleasure was all mine, and I'm glad that we finally got a contact in there.
Yeah, how's this radio sounding down there? I put up a big quad 3 about a month after you got yours up.
It's sounding really good. Hey, that VQ3 is working well for you. That's what I'm on right now. I'm on my VQ3 and pointed right at, I don't know, the edge of Wisconsin and Michigan is about where I'm pointed at the moment.
Hey, Roger, I have a question for you. Do you have any problems with short range talking on that? You know, like about 30 to 50 something miles out?
No, negative. No, as long as I'm talking to stations that are on the flat side. I have my VQ3 set up flat side, and for local and DX, it does great. When it comes to vertical stations locally, well, I lose them at around 30 miles. But flat side stations, I've talked to a bunch of them 75 to 80 miles away.
Oh, Roger, yeah, that's kind of what I've been having a problem with. You know, around town, it's okay. But once I try to get a hold of somebody, that's pushing 30 miles out, I can't do it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's all with the polarization. Yeah, if they're on a vertical, yeah, you're gonna lose them at around that 30-mile mark. It's a great antenna, but if you set it up so that it's vertical and horizontal, you probably get a lot further than that.
That's the way I have it, where it's doing kind of both at the same time.
Copy that. Well, I'm not sure what to tell you then. I haven't tried mine in that orientation yet. I've just had it in the flat side. I have a vertical up for local talk.
Yeah, I might have to end up doing that again. I used to run a super penetrator, but I called Mako on it, and they told me, well, try to raise the front of the boom up a little bit to where it's pointing upwards a little. They said that might help. And then they said, well, another thing you could do is take and roll it over to where it'll be pretty much all vertical. But like you were saying earlier, it's getting hard to get up there to do them kind of things. Ain't no spring chicken anymore.
Yeah, no doubt. And that VQ3 is an awful big antenna to keep taking it down and putting it back up. It is a bit of a beast. Yeah, just try another vertical somewhere. Little advice that I will give you, though, make sure you have that vertical at least about 50 feet or more away from the VQ3. Otherwise, it will screw with it. The two will have issues if they're too close together.
Well, I have a wire antenna I use in other places, kind of down below it, but I haven't really noticed any kind of issues. And I have a 2-meter beam, or not beam, but vertical, and a totally different area. 986 South Carolina, we got you. 986-462 with the afternoon late. But I haven't really noticed any kind of problems as far as feedback or SWR problems or any of that good stuff.
Copy that. Yeah, the 2-meter antenna, that won't affect it at all. That you could put it right next to it and not have any problems at all. It's another antenna that's resonant on the same frequency that will give you an issue if it's too close to that antenna. Below it will work. If you can get it below it, that'll also work. Just not beside it. If it's beside it, you got to go 50 feet or more.
Roger. Yeah, that wire antenna, it's for totally different frequency areas. I may have to bite the bullet and find a place where I could put me a vertical antenna, for short range, more local type use.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have my VQ3 set up on my garage, and I have a vertical set up on my house. So when the skip isn't in here, I talk on the radio in the house to the locals. And when skip is rolling, well, then I'm down here.
Roger. Yeah, the only problem I have is finding, places to do things. Kind of limited. In my garage, to run an antenna out there on the garage, I'd have to run, probably about 60 feet of coax just to get there, and that's not counting getting up to the antenna and getting into the shack here. And I got a lot of power lines and telephone wires and all that good stuff right there close to the garage, so I don't think it'd be a good thing.
Copy that. Yeah, I'm the same way. Up at my house, I have the power lines are right out in front of my house, only about 20 feet away from the house. And yeah, with a flat side over there, I have issues. But I run 2 stations. I have a radio set up in the house, and I have a radio set up in the garage. So it gives me it's kind of like going on vacation. It's a radio vacation. I get to go from one to the other.
Roger, yeah, I've been watching a lot of your videos. I pretty much know what kind of stuff you have there. But anyway, that radio you're on right now and on that V-Quad is sounding great up here. But I'm going to have to do a little bit of thinking on finding some kind of a short-range vertical to put up somewhere. So yeah.
Copy that. Yeah. There's a few of them, a few good ones out there, but yeah, I'm sure you'll figure that one out and get a good vertical up in the air to send that V-Quad to flat side only and get a vertical. You'll be a happy camper and getting out all over the place. And thank you for the compliments on the radio. This is a brand new radio, not even really on the market yet. There's rumors of it, but it's not really on the market yet.
Well, I tell you what, it's working. It sounds great up here.
Copy that. Thank you very much. It's the new Radioddity. It's a QT80. It's the same radio as the new Quad 6 Pro that's coming out.
Hey, Roger. Yeah, I've been kind of looking at some new radios. I want to get a all band radio to put in my truck. 1158.
Copy that. You're gonna like an HF radio you're talking about?
Yeah, it'll do HF and then the 2-meter because I talk on a couple repeaters in the area. Right now I'm in the mobile. Been kind of shopping around.
Copy that. I think we're starting to lose the conditions. You were kind of fading away on that last one. So before it goes away completely, hey, let's just say the 73s, 17, 16. It was awesome talking to you. And hey, enjoy that VQ3. That's fantastic to hear. Another VQ3 user. Hey, you got 151 Mower Junkie down here in South Carolina. I'll say 73s to you.
Okie dokie, you have a... Hey, 151, can you look back?
Making all kinds of noise in the Buckeye 100.
I've been trying to get a hold of you.
Hey, 151, they got pictures of that radio out of
Get a report from you. But now that they have, makes me a little...
151.
I've been talking
talking some pretty long distance on it. But anyway, we'll let you go, and you have fun doing that VX.
I don't know if you got pictures of this radio. It's not on the market.
Copy that, 1716. Hey, you're doing a fantastic job. The radio sounds good, and I've had a great signal on you. There's a lot of other traffic that I hear during your pauses, but you were on top almost the entire time. 1716, that antenna and radio combo are working well for you.
All right, Roger. Well, we'll let you go, and it's been a pleasure. And you take care. And like I was just saying a little bit ago, you have a good day on what's left of it, and a better tomorrow. 1716, we'll be monitoring.
73s, 151, South Carolina. I'll be standing by.
Sounds good, 151,
711. Kenny, I hear you in there. Kenny, it's been a long time. 711, 151, Mower Junkie, waving a hand to you.
Okay, 151, yeah, it's been a while. We just haven't had the conditions, but good afternoon. You're making a beautiful trip on that V-Quad, and good to hear you, man. You're making a good trip, sir. Thank you.
Copy that. Are you still on your 7-element Yagi? Is that what you're still running these days?
No. Right now, I'm just running dipoles. I got a vertical dipole and horizontal. I got a co-phase pointing at you there. Go ahead.
Copy that. You're giving me a strong enough signal, and it's so clean. I thought you were still on that 7-element. The new antenna setup is working well.
Yeah, I've got the horizontal dipole about 20 feet. It's rotatable, and my vertical dipole's up about 50 feet. So we're running both of those at the same time.
Copy that. You got them both going at the same time. That's fantastic. I love that kind of stuff. I love co-phasing antennas and stacking them too. So, hey, Kenny, it's doing well, but I'm getting a lot of traffic in here now. 711, hey, enjoy the day, and I hope you get a lot of DX on those dipoles. 73s to you.
Okay, take care, 51. Have a good day. God bless. And we'll catch you later. 711, I'm clear. Bye-bye.
One South Rider Station talking about the dipole.
Oh, man, somebody got a splatter box up there. Man, replace 189.